It's the Chit Chat Show. Chit Chat Show. Chit and chat like there's no tomorrow. I'm your host, Favorite Flav. What's up? I'm yapping, no capping, that's real. Tune in, settle in, let's grill. Chit Chatters, yeah, that's you. Hi everybody, welcome to the Chit Chat Show, where we chit chat like there's no tomorrow. I'm your host, Favorite Flav, and as usual, I am super duper excited. And before I even get into this episode, I just want to take the moment to really thank each and every one of you for tuning in, for your support. If you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification. And especially if you don't follow the Instagram, turn on the post notification. Even if you do follow the Instagram, turn on the post notification so you know when I post, so you know exactly when I post, So yeah, let's get into it. And with the title, you're probably wondering did I miss a chapter? Like, what's going on? Like, girl, what do you mean you said yes? What's going on? What's tea? Like, to what? To who? Girl, what's tea? But let me tell y'all, breaking news. Breaking news. And can I get a drum roll, please? Well, I said yes. I said yes to absolutely nothing. I got you, didn't I? Well, so a while ago, I posted on my Instagram story what title would y'all like me to cover? What do you want me to talk about, or me and a guest to talk about? And to the two people who participated, I salute you. Thank you very much. And one of them wanted me to talk about dating life. I'm not sure exactly what you want me to cover. So I'm gonna just talk about my dating life. Scary. Scary. And even before I even get into that, y'all, there's been so many weddings this year. There's been weddings, there's been proposal, and period. Congratulations. And I don't know why, but people are just telling me oh, Favor, you're next. When are you getting married? I can't wait for your wedding. Oh, your wedding this, your wedding that, your wedding this, your wedding that. I don't know if it's because I'm done with school or I'm getting older. Not old, older. There's a difference, right? But all I'm hearing is that you're next. When are you bringing your husband? Where your husband at? This, that, the third. And y'all, do you know something that I don't? Can you fill me in? Because what do you mean I'm next? And for me to be next, I'm gonna need a man for that, no? And honestly, y'all, with the options that I'm seeing, I can't even consider them as options. I can't even consider them as options. So, unless y'all gonna go and find me somebody to be my husband, right? I don't want to hear any of it. I don't want to hear you're next. If you're gonna tell me that I'm next, make sure you follow with I found somebody for you. And please, I beg, make sure it's somebody with sense. Make sure it's somebody with sense and somebody that's not gonna stress me, because I do be stressing easily. Yeah. But yeah, dating life. So I don't really have one. And I no longer have the energy for one. Yeah, go and thank all the useless guys. Um, but in my 20 something years of living, I've been in only one relationship. And that only lasted for 3 months. So I don't know if you want to count it or not, but I've only been a girlfriend one time or whatever. I've been single for like 3 years, right? So in between when that ended and like now, it's been like failed situationships, failed talking stage, whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it these days, you know? So cool. I failed. And I can proudly say that none of it was my fault, you know? And y'all, at this very moment, I am actually like, I'm so tapped out. And it's annoying too because everyone just ends up being like the last or even worse. You know, some of them are just better at hiding it, especially like in the beginning. But every guy just ends up being like the last. And every guy I've spoken to, they always just end up being a lesson. They end up being some type of lesson, and I am tired of lessons. I'm tired. I'm tired of learning. Like, I've been lied to, I've been led on, used. They've been inconsistent. They don't know how to treat a woman. And I am not in the business of teaching a man how to treat a woman. I feel like that's something like y'all should know how to do, you know? And honestly, every man knows how to treat a woman. Like, especially like if it's someone that you're truly into, you're gonna know how to treat them right. If I'm wrong, let me know, but you're gonna know how to treat them right, you know? So, like, unfortunately, the experience hasn't been great, you know? And as much as I've been hopeful, I've given up. I've given up. And I'm someone who'll be having a lot of hope. I'm someone who tries to be optimistic, stays optimistic. I give up. Maybe it's the state that I'm in, maybe, but I give up. Yeah. Like, I've always wanted to get married. Like, I still do. And, like, growing up, I had like a timeline in my head. I'm like, okay, cool. By 25, 26, you know, I should be engaged or married. Before 30, I want to have my first kid. This, that, the third. But yeah, but for that to happen, for me to still be on track, I'm gonna need the man God asking me to come and find me now, to come look for me now, cause I'm not doing no searching. You need to come and find me now, you know. And yeah, so as of the moment, my dating life is nowhere to be found. And I don't want to say I'm done with men because whenever I say I'm done with men, that's when another useless one is gonna come to try and distract me, right? So I'm not gonna say anything, you know. I'm gonna just focus on my growth, focus on my healing, focus on my peace of mind, and focus on God. Amen. You know, because all a man is gonna do is disrupt each and every one of that. Seriously. So yeah, I don't want no talking stage. I don't want no situationship. If it's gonna be a cold winter for me, then so be it. I'm used to it already. So, and y'all, like, it's crazy though how I've been single for 3 years, but somehow there've always been some type of like issues with some guy. I don't get it. I'm not even interested in being a girlfriend. I don't even want to be a girlfriend. I don't want to be a girlfriend. I want to be a wife. I want to be a wife. But yeah, like, I feel like the stages of like getting into a relationship, they're just a bunch of headache. it's just a headache, you know. So just make me your wife. Put a ring on the finger and let's call it a day. Like, I'm tapped out. But you know, while I was thinking of this episode, while I was, thinking about what I'm gonna say, while I was just like typing it up and things like that, I really had to start asking myself some questions when it comes to dating, right? And one of it really is, what has dating taught me about myself? And something dating has taught me, honestly, I don't even know if I would even call it dating, because like, but that's another topic, because what really is dating? Like, but cool. So something dating has taught me, like even in relationships outside of dating, right? Something that has taught me really is that I really don't know how to set boundaries. And I also don't know how to speak up for myself. Like, if it's anyone else, I'm ready to go to war. But when it comes to me, myself, and I'm really just mute. I don't say anything. I just watch things unfold and let it happen, which is something that I really had to call myself out on, because it's just like you're letting people push you through these things that you shouldn't even have to go through. You don't even have to go through, but because you wasn't bold enough to say anything about it, now you're gonna go through it. Now they're gonna have some type of peace of mind, and you're gonna have to figure it out in your head on, like, and I be overthinking too, so which makes it even worse. And something really that I'm really teaching myself how to do is setting boundaries, making sure that I'm not getting walked all over on again, making sure that stops. Yeah, making sure I use my voice, because it's just like, yes, I'm doing this podcast at school. You would think that, like, I speak a lot outside of this, but it really depends, So that's definitely something I need to learn how to do. Learn how to use my voice for me. Learn how to use my voice for me. Another question is, what's the hardest part about dating in this generation? Yeah. I think like the hardest part of dating in this generation is that people are scared of commitment. People are scared of commitment. And it's like, how is a baby less of a commitment than marriage? Marriage you can get out of, because people don't want to take the till death do us part seriously anymore. Me personally, I take that seriously. But a, a kid life is less of a commitment than getting married. Like, can you imagine? That is not my portion. That is not my portion, bro. Like, that's something I still can never wrap my head around, to be honest. But I feel like nobody wanna dig deeper anymore, and like the concept of quote unquote love doesn't exist anymore. And if you disagree with me with anything I'm saying, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to let me know your opinions, what you think as well, because I really do want to know too. Like, I want to know if I'm alone with the way I think. I want to know what you think too as well. So, but I feel like also this generation is really filled with people with trust issues, and also this really includes me too. But I feel like the difference with me, and most people, I don't want to say like everyone else because I don't know everyone else, but I'm sure different than most people. So I want to say like I try not to bring past situations into new things. Obviously there's gonna be like lessons that I've learned from that. I'm gonna take those lessons with me, but I'm not gonna treat a new person like in a bad way because of something someone has done to me. It makes no sense to me. So, but yeah, people are scared of commitment. It's a bunch of trust issues going around. Love isn't real anymore. Nobody wants to dig deeper. It's it's a lot going on in this generation. Like people just want to knock and dip. People just want a consistent knocking body. They don't want to have no real conversation or anything like that. They just want to, alright, cool. But hey, moving forward, what are my non-negotiables when it comes to dating? This one I really have to put thought into because it's just like, what really is my non-negotiables? Like, what am I not going to tolerate? Because I feel like I already tolerate a lot, but now I'm just like, why? So what am I no longer going to tolerate? And I'm gonna list like four of them, right? And the first one is that if you suck at communication, don't cross this line at all, at all. Don't even come close. Like, and I love communication. I feel like when you look up the five love languages, like there's five, but I really feel like there's more than that. And communication is one of them too. Is addition to those five for me. So cool. I love communication. Like if you want to over communicate, go ahead. I'm here for it. Because sometimes it's just like if I'm communicating more than someone else, I feel like I'm over communicating, and I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm over communicating because now I'm gonna feel like I'm bothering you. You know? Yeah. Cool. And the next one is respect. Like, don't dismiss me. If I tell you I don't like something and you continue to do it, that's lack of respect for me. You know, it shows that you don't care. Like, you actually think that I'm stupid. But let's. Another one is trust and honesty. I don't like being lied to. I'm not gonna lie to you either. I promise you that. Um, no half truths, no protecting each other's feelings, because people like to do that. People like to not tell you the full raw honesty because they don't want you to get hurt. They don't want to see you sad. Is that a third? Like, yo, just rip the band-aid. It doesn't matter because now if I find out, right, through someone else, through my own investigations and things like that, it's not gonna be good. And I really feel like out of respect for somebody, you're going to tell them the full complete truth. No holding back. So and what's done in the dark is gonna come in the light. So it's gonna come out eventually. So you might as well just say, wow, right then and there. And also, it's like you can't even don't be waiting for a right time. Like, just say it. Just say it. And the fourth one is effort and reciprocity, right? I don't want to be in a one sided relationship. And that goes into like friendships too, not just like dating and things like that. It goes into any type of relationship, to be honest. All of this really goes into any type of relationship, to be honest. But I mean, this is more focused on dating, but you know, I don't want to be in a one-sided relationship. It really takes two to tango. Like now, imagine you're dancing bachata or you're tango. You're doing a slow dance with somebody, right? And that person is just standing there like a zombie, like a statue. and you're dancing. It's gonna look mad awkward, isn't it? It's mad awkward. So yeah. So I'm gonna say those are the four, to be honest. And no, I'm gonna add one more too. Consistency. Consistency. Your words and your actions gotta match. They gotta go together. They have to go together. One can't be yet, the other one can't be yet. They must go together. Consistency, when it comes to texting, when it comes to calling, when it comes to the things you was doing, and consistency. It's your words and your action can't be separate. You know. Another question is, how has social media affected relationships? Um, for me, right, it's kind of hard to answer this, but I can also like see it too, because like I've only really been in one relationship, and the situations was really a bunch of like unseriousness. So, but I feel like because I don't really know what a proper relationship is supposed to be or feel like, I think that social media definitely does influence me, but not a lot, to be honest. I feel like there's some things that I see and I'm just like, okay, like that's something that I agree with, that kind of aligns with my imagination when it comes to like a relationship and things like that. And then there's some that I see, I'm just like, okay, like this is kind of over the board, but if you can do it, you can do it. You know what I mean? But like, I think when it comes to like, you know, social media and stuff like that, you see boyfriends doing this, that, the third. You see like these quotes on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and that shifts my imagination a little bit. I feel like, okay, like this is what I should be expecting if I was to get into a relationship with somebody. But obviously, like everybody is different, and everyone is in different spots in life too. So there's some things that may or may not get done depending on the capability of that person. And at the same time, it's just like, dang, it's like you see all of these nice stuff, and I'm also like, dang, like I kind of want that too as well. But I think social media does like forces people to compare their situations with what they see online and things like that. They compare what they see online versus what they got, and which honestly is not great most of the time, because you start feeling some type of way towards somebody and start really questioning the feelings that they have towards you too, because they aren't doing these things that other people's boyfriends are doing, or girlfriends. And in your head you're just like, dang, like does this person even like match me the way they say like they match with me, because you're seeing all of these things on social medias and things like that, and in your head you're just like, dang, like, but everybody's different, everybody's relationship is different, and those things on social media too, you gotta also like remember, like some people can do it, some can't. So, and like now, let's say there's a girl you follow, and she's posting how her boyfriend is getting her flowers every week, how her man says bringing her gifts to her job and things like that, and then you're gonna look at your relationship, you're just like, dang, like this man ain't never got me flowers before, he never got me chocolates before, and all that things. But honestly though, not getting flowers is kind of crazy, if I'm being honest. Personally, I think it's kind of crazy, but you know, like at least once, twice. But you're gonna start like questioning, You know what I mean? But at the same time, I really think that you shouldn't let social media define your relationship or how great your relationship is or should be. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, you shouldn't, because then it's going to, then you're also measuring your happiness in a way. But I don't think you should let social media really like influence you when it comes to relationship, and it shouldn't influence me either. You know, if there's some things that you see on there that you just like, okay, cool, like yeah, that's cute, you know what I mean? But it shouldn't really be like, oh dang, like I wish my man could do that for me. I wish my girl could do that for me, or anything like that. Or and honestly, it's just like, okay, there's probably a reason that they aren't doing it, you know, and you can talk about that. Maybe they don't have the funds for it, like at that very moment, which is completely fine. Like I said, everybody is at different spots in life. If they can do it, they can. If they can't, they can. As long as they're treating you right and you feel that they're treating you right, you know, as long as you feel happy when you're around that person, you know, you can see the effort that they're putting with the little or with whatever amount that they got. I'll say that's my 2 cents when it comes to social media and relationships, and to be honest. But I feel like for me, social media doesn't really even affect it for me. It's like I'm really set on getting like a movie love story. I don't know. I love me a good romance movie, a good romance show, whatever. Like I can care less about social media. Me, it's like my expectation looking be coming from the movies and stuff like that. Something about that movie love story that is just like yes, you know, like yes. Like another question, yeah, is do I believe in ghosting or is it immature? I think it depends. I feel like if you communicated what you needed to communicate, right, and the other person isn't doing anything about it, it's like yeah, you said what you needed to say, but they don't really care or anything like that. You know, I think it's time to ghost. You try talking to them, they ain't listen, move on. You know, like the door is right there. I really feel like that's when it's okay to ghost. You know, that's when it's okay to not really respond back. You know, you've done what you needed to do, you said what you needed to say, you know, and nothing changes. Okay, bet. Okay, bet. But it's immature if you just do it out of the blue, no communication. Because me personally, I'm the type of person that's gonna think, that's gonna be like, yo, like, why isn't this person texting me? Why aren't they contacting me? This, that, the third. You know, I'm the type of person that is. I need to know why. Why are you ghosting me right now? Why am I getting ignored? I don't like being ignored. You know, so it's immature if it's just done out of the blue. You know, but if you've done the grown up thing to talk about it and nothing, then go ahead. So yeah. Another question is, right, is love really blind? You know, is love blind? Um, to this question, I don't think love is blind. I personally think that it's the chemistry that blinds us, right? And I've been in situations where the chemistry was undeniable. Like it was there. And chemistry comes before the love even comes to, you know. So cool, chemistry's here. It's like wow, like this is this is amazing, like maybe this might be the one. Like they get it, the convo is flowing, the jokes are joking, like the aura is here, the vibe is being felt, like I think that's what's blinded. Like seriously, I really think that's what's blinded. And when it comes to love, you truly have to get to know that person before you can be in love with them, And there's a difference between loving someone and being in love with somebody. It's easy for both, I would say. It's easy to love somebody and things like that, but to fall in love with somebody, they gotta be special. They gotta be special. And you gotta get to know them. You can't really just fall in love on day one. I mean, love at first sight do be happening, but you still have to get to know that person to actually like really determine if you love that person or not, Because now imagine you love somebody at first sight and then you find out they're actually really trash. What are you gonna do, right? But with chemistry is really just like wow, it's undeniable. Chemistry is undeniable, right? So, but with love, you have to get to know them and then you choose to love them, which will lead to the next question. Is love a choice or a feeling? It's both. It's a feeling that you choose to follow. But it's not just like, oh, a feeling that you choose and that's it. To keep that feeling alive, you have to water it with action, which is what's gonna make the love grow, which is what's gonna make the love stay as well. You can't just be like, okay, you have you love somebody and you think that's gonna be enough. Love isn't enough. Love isn't enough. It's never enough. And neither is chemistry. So they're not enough. Action needs to back it up. Action needs to back it up. Love is never enough. With the last question, right? Is there such a thing as the right person, wrong time? Um, I don't know if I believe in wrong time because, like, I believe that everything happens the way it's supposed to. Everything happens the way it's meant to be. I truly believe that. So, if you think that something is quote unquote wrong time, personally, you have to make that wrong time the right time. Because yo, let's be for real. Time is already moving mad fast. It's not waiting for nobody. And if you think that you're the right person, then make it the right time. Regardless on what's going on, how busy you are, what you're going through, like you have to make it the right time because like you might think it's the wrong time now and you're gonna lose a chance on the right person, the person that you think is the right person and a good person just because of the chaos that's going on. There's always gonna be chaos going on. Let's be for real. There's always gonna be chaos going on. So you better find a way to make that time of chaos the right time. And honestly too, like one of the points of having a partner too is so like you're not going through what you're going through alone as well and you're not going through what you're going through as well. It's called a partner for a reason. When you're in a project, and you have a partner, both of you are doing the job, you know. Whether one is doing the work the other one is presenting, somebody's doing something. Somebody's doing something. And for the good, the bad times, it's like you have to learn how to overcome things together. So that whole wrong time thing, if you communicate with said person about this is it, this is what's going on. lay it all out on the table, you know what I mean? If they can handle it, they can handle it. If they can't, they can't. I really feel like nowadays people really just need to pull the cards out on the table, lay it all on the tables, and then decide if this is something that they're up for or not. You know, people want to just like throw in a little bit, a little at a time, a little at a time. Yes, I understand that because you don't want to overwhelm them, but I think the older you get, there's no time to be wasted. Like, lay it all out on the table. And me too, I'm impatient. I just want to know. Lay it all out on the table. I'm going to lay my cards down. You lay your cards down. And let's see. Can you handle my cards? Can I handle your cards? Let's see. Instead of wasting time and a couple months from now, it's just like, oh, okay, like, maybe this is too much. Like, y'all, like, I would know if it's too much if you just laid it out on the table once and for all. So, I mean, let me know what you think about that, to be honest. You know, is it like something where it's just like, okay, like a little bit, or do you want all the cards just laid out on the table? Moving forward, I think I might just have to write a contract and start having these men sign it, to be honest. Like, put my expectations out there, what I won't tolerate, and mind you, y'all, I tolerate a lot, and I shouldn't even be tolerating like anything, you know. But write a contract, have them read it. If they can't do any of them, then bye bye, bye bye yo, or whatever Burna Boy said. But yeah, that's all for today. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I may or may not revisit this subject down the line in the future, like down the line in the future, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you have any opinions when it comes to dating or any thoughts or I have anything to say on whatever I've said. If you agree with anything, you don't agree with anything, just let me know. You know, put in the comment or something. Yeah, I want to know. I really want to know what y'all think. To be honest, like, are you thinking the same way I'm thinking? Are you not? What is it? You know, it's okay to have a different opinion as me or whatever. Not everybody's meant to share your brain, to be honest. So, but I'm really interested in what you guys have to say as well, to be honest. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, post notification, turn it on. Follow the page if you haven't. And yeah, that's pretty much for it for me for today. Have a blessed weekend. Yeah. Okay. That's it, y'all. Bye. Chit Chat Show. Welcome to the Chit Chat. Chit Chat Show. Chit and Chat. There's no